This is a short video over the resting squat. There's other names for it, and I've noticed a lot of the videos that are over it, they give a lot of explanation, but they always seem to, not all of them, but the core of them seem to start you already being able to do the resting squat. There are people that I've come across in there, every age bracket, that have either a difficult time doing it, or it's very difficult. Some cultures utilize the resting squat all the time, and from that, their hips are more open, their ankles are more open, their back is more, open and stretched out. It's a very good exercise to strengthen the legs and the body. Here in the West, we don't really do a lot of squatting. We utilize chairs all the time. So I'm going to explain this resting squat using a chair. I'm going to do it 3 ways. So I'm going to kind of show a progression for people. So say, and if you don't know what a resting squat is, I'll do one real quick. So I'm here, and there's multiple ways to go down, and I'm going to sit like this, right? And now, you can do this static or dynamic, and I'm going to talk about that some as well. But if you're coming to my Tai Chi classes or even my Squat Job classes, I feel that it's being able to do a resting squat is it's really important. One, it works a large portion of your body, and if you incorporate like arm raises, it'll work even more. But it's a very functional exercise and suitable for all age groups. So if you say, I can't do this resting squat, I can't go all the way down like that, it's too uncomfortable on my knees, and it's natural, meaning there's no reason why any human shouldn't be able to do a resting squat. Now, let's say your legs are shorter, or you've got a longer torso. The way that your feet are, right? They may be to the front, or they may be turned out, or your upper body may be like this, or it may be like this. And again, that's all in the length of the leg bones and the length of the torso and all of that. But this is a great way to start. Find you like a flat chair. And if you really need assistance, you can start by putting your hands here and help, to push yourself up out of the chair, right? And then try to slow it down as you go back. And you know what? If I fall back in the chair, no big deal, okay? I'm, again, trying to strengthen my core, portions of my legs. I'm trying to loosen up my joints. So it's okay. You can do a soft chair or something, but most of the time they're not, they lean back a little bit. This one does too, that's why I'm sitting on the edge of it. But say I'm here, and I want to try to lift me from here. I want to feel this in here, like this, right? Now, if I do it this way, or with any of this resting squat, I'll explain it piece by piece back. Don't do this. See, don't push into the knees to create some momentum to help you to get up. I want you to try to do it from here, right? So I'm in this position, and I want to try not to force the knee forward. Right? When you do that, it's going to work the abdominals and the lumbar a lot more. But I can just slide back if I want. You'll feel it in your hamstrings too. But what I'm getting at is you're trying to increase the strength if you're older, or say you've had an injury, you're younger, and you're trying to recover, we'll say your leg strength again. This is an excellent exercise for that. It doesn't require anything else. And the great thing about it is that when you can stand up for yourself, you can regain your independence. If If you feel like you need assistance and support standing up, and you try to do this exercise enough that you can regain that strength, I tell you, you'll feel very pleased with yourself. But so again, I'm here. I'm not going to push into the knee to stand me up. I'm going to be here, and then I'm going to try to use the core, and I'm going to keep my head up like this. See? And I would recommend do a few sets. I mean, figure out how many you can do. 5, and then maybe the next time you can do 3, the next 2, and then you do it for a week or so, and you keep gaining numbers, until you get up to, maybe 3 sets of 10 or something, right? Now, so say you already have relatively decent strength in your legs, or that you can do the stuff, and also something that has to do with balance, right? But find you a chair. I'd prefer something a little taller. Or like, say in your home, maybe you have a bar top or a tabletop or a railing that you could, maybe hold on to. You might want to do it like this, to keep from bumping your knees, depending on what house design. But from here, right, I may start from just being able to go to my thighs are flat, right? And then I'm going to drive myself back up. And I keep thinking about sitting on my butt, not pushing into my knees. Right now, this chair would fall over backwards if I try to support myself with it. But if you have a heavier table, something that you won't pull over, or like a railing or something, you can hold on to, and when you do this, right, you can counterbalance yourself. And you can use a weight in your hands too, but if you're already kind of weak in the legs, you're probably weak in the arms enough that you might not be able to hold something heavy enough to counterbalance you. But like I said, you can do this with a heavy couch or something, just hold it out like this. But again, I want to feel like I'm sitting back, and I want to keep my head up. And, keep going till you can do maybe 3 good sets of 10. And before you try to go lower than your thighs parallel, right? And then say you get to the point to where you can do the 3 sets, then try to do 1 set, where you hold on to something and you go back, and then you drive yourself back up, right? Down, and come up, go down. And you can stay here and breathe if you want. You don't have to do them so vigorously. And then once I feel comfortable that I don't need the chair, and I want to just be able to do the, maybe 3 sets, that's great. And the next level of progression, right? So look, again, I don't want to push into the knees when I go down, right? You're doing this stuff maybe in PE class, make you do this. You're just driving into the knee, right? I should be trying to sit on my butt, right? So when I go back, right? Oops, almost fell that time. It's okay if you fall backwards. So come back, down, right? Down, right? I just don't want to push my knees forward. The more I can sit backwards, the more I'm going to stretch the back, the more I'm going to work the hamstrings, the more I'm going to work the abdominals, the lumbar. And now, you can do it stationary or static, right? Sit here like this, maybe for a count of 10 or 20 or whatever. It'll help to open up the knee. It'll help to align the knee, right? But I want to be able to breathe through my lower abdomen. So if you're all hunkered over in a way that you can't breathe through the lower abdomen, maybe go back to one of the other levels of progression, or try to lift the head up, right? Now, if you're younger and you can already do that and it's easy, find you a weight, right? I don't really have a hand weight up here. Let's say you have I don't know, whatever you feel comfortable with, 5 pound, 10 pound, 20 pound hand weight. Hold it in your hands, right? You're here in the position, and as you squat, lift it further and out. You can bring it down, bring it back. So in doing this, I'm going to work my lats, and it's going to put pressure on my abdominals, right? And then I hold it out, and go back down, and bring it through and back up and back up. And you can do your set of, 3 sets of 10 of that. For mobility, right? This exercise, everybody thinks it's about the knees. It's not. It's more about the ankles and the hips. The knee is getting open, right? You can say maybe it's stretching the connective tissue. It could be helping them to align the knee, like it gets out of whack and stuff like that. Functional exercise. Now, you can do this as well. You go down and then try to raise your hands above your head first this way and breathe. And then later, try it like that, and you go down and then raise the hands. And then be able to drop and lift the hands at the same time. So then it's creating mobility in the shoulders, the knees, the hips and the ankles, right? Put it up here like this, and back down. Bring that up. And back down. So that's a half a dozen different ways to do a resting squat. Again, whether you're 25, and you can already do it, that's awesome. But try more mobility, raise the arms, or get some weight in your hands so that your body has to lift that weight back up, the leg muscles, you're kind of working the lats and your deltoids, your upper body. You can even push this above your head if you want. So just kind of like maximize the movement, right? But I would try to put my hands above my head first and see if the breathing is affected. If it's not, you can keep the spine in a line. Then go ahead and try to add weight. But again, do something you can do first. Don't think of it like I'm trying to build muscles with this. I'm trying to get my body to move through a range of motion, right, to maintain my mobility. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. We have a bunch of videos over the resting squat. I think it's very, very important to, again, whether you're 20 and you're coming to my classes or you're going to any type of functional class, right, martial arts or some kind of sport, it doesn't matter. It's a great exercise. If you're older, you're in your 50s, 40s and 50s, utilize it more for mobility, right? And keeping your range of motion and strengthen, keeping the connective tissue, the stabilizing muscles in the joints strong, keeping them loose. If you're older, 60s and 70s, you can still utilize it for both of those aspects, right? But becomes more of I need to maintain my mobility, and I need to be able to maintain my leg and my core strength. So it's an excellent exercise. And even if you can only do it in the chair 6 months later, but you're doing it and you're picking yourself up, 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 5, that is one thing more that is keeping this curve from happening, right? You're slowing this curve down, you're maintaining your independence. If you're younger, it's just going to make you more explosive, have more, more power in the legs and the body, and more nimbleness to move. And again, that middle age bracket there, just maintaining yourself longer and longer so that you can do the activities that you want to do. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. Thank you.